The need for security. The primary mission of an information security program is to ensure that information assets, including both data and the systems that store them, remain secure and functional. The constant threat of attacks on information systems is a persistent concern that drives the need for robust security measures. Information security serves four crucial functions within an organization: protecting the organization's operational capability, safeguarding the data and information it collects and uses, enabling the secure operation of applications on the organization's IT systems, and protecting the organization's technology assets. Additionally, it addresses concerns from global Internet authorities regarding usage and tackles issues related to compromises of intellectual property. Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers is a non-profit organization responsible for coordinating the maintenance and procedures of several databases related to the namespaces and numerical spaces of the Internet, ensuring the network's stable and secure operation. Internet Assigned Numbers Authority manages IP address allocation and other protocol parameter assignments. AFRINIC serves Africa, while APNIC covers the Asia-Pacific region. AARON is responsible for Canada, the United States, and some Caribbean nations. LACNIC manages Internet resources for Latin America and certain Caribbean nations. RIPE NCC, headquartered in Amsterdam, Netherlands, with a branch office in Dubai, UAE, oversees Europe, Russia, the Middle East, and Central Asia. Intellectual property encompasses the creation, ownership, and control of original ideas and their representations. Among the most common breaches of IP is software piracy. To combat this issue, two key watchdog organizations, the Software and Information Industry Association and the Business Software Alliance, are actively involved in investigating software abuse. Deviations in quality of service can significantly impact the performance of information systems, which rely on the successful operation of numerous interdependent support systems. Issues such as irregularities in Internet service, communications, and power can dramatically affect the availability of information and systems. Specifically, failures from Internet service providers can severely undermine information availability. To mitigate this risk, outsourcing web hosting providers assume responsibility for all Internet services, as well as the hardware and website operating system software. Deviations in the quality of service, particularly power irregularities, can lead to fluctuations such as power excesses, shortages, and losses, which pose a significant risk to sensitive electronic equipment, making them vulnerable to damage or destruction. Implementing controls to manage power quality can mitigate these risks. Additionally, issues with communications and other service providers, including telephone, water, wastewater, and trash pickup, can impact an organization's ability to function effectively. Loss of these essential services can disrupt organizational operations, highlighting the importance of maintaining quality and reliability across all utility services. Espionage or trespass involves the access of protected information by unauthorized individuals. This threat encompasses a wide range of electronic and human activities that compromise the confidentiality of information. Such breaches can occur in various ways, including shoulder surfing, where someone observes confidential information being accessed, regardless of the location. Additionally, hackers employ their skills or use fraudulent methods to bypass controls designed to protect sensitive information. Expert hackers are proficient in developing software scripts and programming exploits, often possessing a diverse mastery of various skills. They frequently craft attack software and may distribute it among their peers. In contrast, unskilled hackers, commonly referred to as script kiddies, outnumber their expert counterparts. They rely on pre-written, sophisticated software to exploit systems, lacking comprehensive understanding of the systems they target. The summary covers various terms associated with rule-breaking within systems, including espionage or trespass. It highlights individuals like crackers, who remove software protections to allow unauthorized duplication, and phreakers, who manipulate the public telephone system for free calls or service disruption. It also touches on password attacks, such as cracking, brute force, dictionary attacks, and social engineering techniques. The approach involves implementing case-insensitive passwords utilizing a standard alphabet set, devoid of numbers or special characters. The study focuses on the implementation of case-sensitive passwords utilizing a standardized alphabet set, incorporating both numbers and special characters. The performance of password power refers to its ability to generate strong and secure passwords that are resistant to various hacking techniques. It encompasses factors such as password complexity, length, and randomness, which collectively determine the strength of a password against brute force attacks, dictionary attacks, and other common password cracking methods. The forces of nature pose significant dangers, disrupting not only individual lives but also the storage, transmission, and utilization of information. To mitigate these risks, organizations must establish controls to minimize damage and develop contingency plans to ensure uninterrupted operations despite natural disruptions. Human error or failure encompasses acts carried out without malicious intent or in ignorance, often stemming from factors such as inexperience, improper training, and incorrect or false assumptions. Despite not being intentional, these actions can pose significant risks to an organization's data security, making employees one of the greatest threats in safeguarding sensitive information. Human error or failure within an organization poses significant risks such as the revelation of classified data, entry of erroneous information, accidental deletion or modification of data, and storing data in unprotected areas, all of which compromise information security. However, implementing effective controls can mitigate many of these threats and safeguard sensitive information. Social engineering involves leveraging social skills to manipulate individuals into divulging access credentials or sensitive information to the attacker. This can take various forms, such as advance fee scams or phishing attacks, where perpetrators exploit human vulnerabilities rather than solely relying on technological weaknesses. As highlighted by cybersecurity expert Kevin Mitnick, even the most sophisticated technological defenses can be compromised if an attacker successfully exploits the human element, underscoring the critical importance of awareness and vigilance in defending against such tactics. Advance fee scams represent a prevalent form of fraud within the realm of social engineering, constituting one of the most frequently encountered types of confidence tricks. This scheme often revolves around enticing the victim with the promise of a substantial portion of a considerable sum of money, contingent upon the payment of a relatively minor upfront fee, purportedly necessary for securing the larger sum. Variants of this deceptive tactic include the beneficiary fund scam, lottery scam, investment scam, and romance scam, all designed to manipulate individuals into parting with their money under false pretenses. Nigerian 419 fraud, also known as advance fee fraud, often involves emails or letters sent to individuals promising a large sum of money in exchange for a small advance payment or personal information. A phishing attack is a deceptive attempt to acquire personal or confidential information by masquerading as a legitimate communication. Typically conducted via email, it involves the use of disguised links or attachments containing embedded code that redirects users to malicious third-party websites. Variants include email phishing, which targets a broad audience, spear phishing, aimed at specific individuals or organizations, whaling phishing, which targets high-profile individuals, and smushing and wishing, which utilize SMS and voice calls, respectively, to trick victims into revealing sensitive information. These techniques exploit human trust and can have serious consequences if successful. A phishing example involving HSBC might consist of an email sent to HSBC customers, appearing to be from the bank itself. Cyber extortion, also known as blackmailing, involves attackers stealing information from computer systems and then demanding compensation for its return or non-disclosure. This form of extortion is frequently observed in cases of credit card number theft, where attackers threaten to disclose sensitive data unless payment is made. It's a prevalent tactic used by cybercriminals to coerce victims into paying up to prevent reputational damage or further exploitation of stolen information. Sabotage involves intentional efforts to weaken an adversary by obstructing, disrupting, or destroying their operations. Vandalism entails the deliberate destruction or damage to either public or private property. Cyberterrorism and cyberwarfare represent significantly more harmful forms of hacking, often aiming to cause widespread damage or disruption through digital means. Malicious software, commonly known as malware, encompasses any program designed to intentionally harm computers, networks, or servers. These programs engage in various malicious activities such as stealing, encrypting, or deleting sensitive data, hijacking core computing functions, and monitoring end users' computer activities. A computer virus is a form of malicious software that reproduces itself and embeds within other files or programs. It can operate discretely, activating when its host program or file is opened. Variants include memory-resident viruses, program file viruses, boot sector viruses, and email viruses. Each type poses unique risks and methods of transmission, making them a significant threat to computer systems and data security. A worm is a type of malicious software that, like a computer virus, can replicate itself. However, unlike viruses, worms automatically activate and spread across networks. They have the capability to quickly execute destructive attacks, making them particularly concerning for cybersecurity. A Trojan horse, unlike viruses or worms, is a deceptive program that doesn't replicate itself but rather masquerades as legitimate software. Once it gains a user's trust and is executed, it clandestinely carries out malicious activities. Hackers utilize Trojans to pilfer passwords, damage data, or sabotage programs on the hard drive. Their ability to evade detection makes them particularly insidious threats. Spyware, a form of malware, operates covertly to collect user information, which is then transmitted to third parties without the user's consent. This data can include details about files accessed on the computer, online activities, and even keystrokes entered by the user. Adware, a form of malware, monitors a user's browsing and download activities to present pop-up or banner ads aimed at enticing them to buy products or services. Ransomware is a type of malware that infiltrates a user's system and encrypts its data, rendering it inaccessible. Following the encryption, cybercriminals demand a ransom payment from the victim in order to provide the decryption key necessary to unlock the data. A backdoor virus, also known as a remote access Trojan, RAT, surreptitiously establishes a hidden entry point within a compromised computer system. This clandestine access allows threat actors to remotely control the system without detection by the user or security software. Spam, or unsolicited commercial email, is generally viewed as more of a nuisance than a direct attack, but it's increasingly being utilized as a pathway for certain types of attacks. On the other hand, a packet sniffer serves the dual purpose of monitoring data flow across a network for legitimate management reasons as well as potentially being exploited to illicitly gather information from that network. A denial of service (DOS) attack occurs when an attacker inundates a target system with an excessive volume of connection or information requests. Typically, the attacker compromises other systems to amplify the attack, flooding the target with more requests than it can handle. Consequently, the overloaded target system becomes incapable of responding to genuine service requests, potentially leading to system crashes or an inability to perform regular functions. In a distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack, numerous computers, often compromised by hackers, are employed simultaneously to flood a target with a barrage of requests. These attacks involve the coordination of multiple locations and can overwhelm the target's resources, rendering its services inaccessible to legitimate users. Spoofing is a deceptive technique employed to illegitimately access systems or networks. In spoofing, an intruder adopts a trusted IP address to mislead systems into believing they are a legitimate user. By assuming this trusted identity, the intruder can bypass security measures and gain unauthorized access to sensitive information or resources. In a man-in-the-middle attack, an assailant intercepts network packets, alters their contents, and then reintroduces them into the network. Technical hardware failures or errors occur when equipment, whether due to a known or unknown fault, defect, distributed by a manufacturer, fails to perform within expected parameters. This leads to unreliable service or unavailability. The mean time between failure, MTBF, quantifies the time span between such hardware failures, providing a measure of reliability. Technical software failures or errors often occur due to the extensive process of writing, debugging, publishing, and selling computer code before all bugs are identified and fixed. Additionally, the interaction between specific software and hardware configurations can unveil new bugs. Organizations strive for trustworthy software with the assistance of initiatives like the Open Web Application Security Project, OWASP, which aims to support in creating and maintaining secure software. OWASP also compiles a list of the most critical security risks to aid organizations in mitigating potential vulnerabilities. Technological obsolescence, characterized by outdated infrastructure, poses the risk of unreliable and untrustworthy systems. Effective managerial planning is crucial to prevent such obsolescence, with particular emphasis on the role of information technology, in ensuring system reliability and trustworthiness. Theft encompasses the illegal acquisition of another person's physical, electronic, or intellectual property. While physical theft is comparatively straightforward to regulate, electronic theft poses a more intricate challenge. Unlike physical theft, electronic theft often lacks immediately visible evidence of the crime, complicating detection and prosecution processes. Thank you for watching.